Whatcha? Welcome back to the Malted Man Cave. We have my buddy Dave here again as usual, which always makes the review a lot better. Tonight, did you see that one comment by Hardline DK? Shout out to Hardline DK. He said, and I quote, "It's always fun. It's always fun when Dave stops in."
It's always fun.
It's always fun.
Well, I'm happy to be here once again.
Down in my basement.
Down in your basement.
So tonight, we are going to be doing the Balvenie Single Barrel 15, which is unfortunately now discontinued. So if you find this, pick it up quickly. This is, I believe, 100% bourbon barrels. There is no sherry involvement whatsoever. It is bottled at 47.8% ABV, non-chill filtered, and no color added, which is why this is one of my favorites. Balvenie is, like I said before, one of my favorite distilleries. They just have this amazing honey, gristy thing about it that just makes it magnificent. So, just a little bit about Balvenie. Balvenie was opened by William Grant in 1886. He bought a farm near their Balvenie Castle, which is obviously in Speyside. And they're also known for just kind of doing things a little bit more traditional. And I believe they are one of only 7 other distilleries that have their own floor maltings. For those of you who are not sure what floor maltings is, that's kind of the process where they take malted barley. Well, that's not malted yet. They take barley, they steep it into it into water. After that, then they take the barley, they put it on the malting floor, and then every so often a maltman will go by, take a shovel, and flick it, because they don't want the process to get too heated. And so what that's doing is there's a chemical reaction with the heat and with that actually tricks the barley into germinating, thus releasing, turning the starches into sugar, which can then ultimately go on to be kilned, dried, and then they go to the, what do you call it, when they turn it into grist. You know, they grind it and they turn it into this really fine grist. So, enough blabbering.
Well, I have a question about that. So when we were researching this, Keith showed me some videos of the process, and we got to the process of the flicking, and it was, instead of manually doing it, it was these big, it looked like a big KitchenAid blender, just mixing it around, pretty sterile environment.
And I quickly changed that video.
Yeah. So what makes that? What is the difference in flavor, in your opinion? Can you tell a difference?
So let me ask you this: when you get something from IKEA that's made in China, like a furnace, a chair or a table. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's as good as when like an amazing craftsman just
of course not.
hand quality like carves it, takes his heart, his soul, his blood, sweat, and tears? You just get a better.
So
product, right?
Okay, so that's evident. Like you can tell the difference. Okay.
Most of us that really truly get into Scotch feel like you can tell a difference. You can just, the quality of care that goes into it. Even it's minute at times.
Right.
Sometimes you can really tell, and then there's other times it's just minute. But overall, I just feel like the more traditional distilleries that, dunnage warehouses, they do their own floor maltings. A lot of times, some of these places make their own barley. They just seem to be a little bit better, and it's just not these cookie cutter, scotches that are just average.
Totally makes sense. Just wanted to figure that out.
So, without further ado, let's pour ourselves a glass.
Oh, please do.
When are you gonna buy some scotch?
I know, right?
Drinking up all my scotch. Now, I will say that your presence has gotten more views, so I don't know what that's all about. Guys, why are you watching just because he's here?
That's not true at all. It's just me clicking refresh.
You just view it every day, like I'm on.
Can it work like that? Can you
I don't know. You think that there'd be some kind of mechanic to it?
We don't need that.
After a while. All right, enough blabbering. Let's get into the nose. And again, as usual, do you mind starting us off?
The pause. The pause for the breathing.
This is really good.
Yeah, well, the first thing right off the bat, the previous 2 that I had done with you were both sherry, and this right off the bat was felt like home for me because it smells like bourbon. It smells like a what I associate with what I've drank all my life.
And I specifically did that because we've done 2 sherried monsters,
yeah.
and the ABV. It's actually higher than most at 40 or 43%. But we had done, I think, the Macallan Edition 2. That was like 48.5, almost 49, and then obviously the Abuna, that was like 60.1. It was like stings the nostrils.
No,
Put air
breathe
out
it
your
in.
chest.
Well, this was strong too, but it was I was used
More
to
bearable.
this. Yeah, definitely. So the first thing when I associate with bourbon, that vanilla, but then literally the next scent was honey, but more specifically, and this is gonna sound silly, but it's honeycomb cereal. I don't know if they have that in Europe, but in the States we have this.
Amazing.
We have this cereal called honeycomb, and it looks like a generic honeycomb, bee's comb, and
It makes sense because the barley. I mean, cereal is made out of grains.
Right.
Barley is a grain. So.
Right, so that's probably where it comes from. But so that, and then once again going back to that, it smells like bourbon, and that piques my interest.
So I get white chocolate and vanilla toffee. Just freaking fantastic. White chocolate and vanilla toffee. Just this rich barley sugar note. Kind of the cereal from the barley sugar. You know, like I said, kind of the malting process where the starches are just kind of releasing the sugar is just this rich barley sugar. Light floral. I'm not real good at picking out floral notes. I'm trying to step up my connoisseur game. I think this is my guess. I think it's kind of a lilies and buttercups. I actually went out. I found some and I smelled
Princess
them.
Buttercup. Oh, sorry.
The Princess Buttercup.
Buttercup.
Boo! Bow to her. Oh
Sorry.
gosh! I hope you guys have seen The Princess Bride. Otherwise, we're gonna lose subscribers.
You should go watch it. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. If they don't have it in your language, I'm sure there's a dubbed or a subtitle.
Princess Bride, great movie. I get cloves again. I don't know what it is, but apparently every review we get cloves.
We like cloves. We miss them.
A little bit of kind of yeast, kind of probably from the wort where they add the yeast in the fermentation process. A little bit of a butter note, which kind of makes me think that it's going to be a pretty good texture on the palate. Kind of coat your mouth. Lemon with a tad bit of lime. It's almost indistinguishable, but slight lemon with a little bit of lime. And lastly, a little bit of peach.
That fruit.
You get it now?
Yeah. Well, it makes sense because I mean that's what I was tasting a lot with. Coconut. That was like my first thing right off the bat as far as putting it in. And I don't like I don't like the texture of coconut. I like the flavor of coconut. So this was nice. If there was texture of coconut in it, that'd be even.
No bueno?
No.
What don't you like about the texture?
I don't know. It's creepy. So that fruit thing that you were smelling, coconut, pears, citrusy, pineapple.
Very pineapple-y.
Pineapple-y, but kind of different. I don't know. Something different about the fruit flavor. And then once again, going back to my last thought is, and it's a good thought because it was when I was a kid. I don't know how your family was growing up, but in our family, there's these bags of cereal and they're on the bottom shelf at your grocery, and it says puffed wheat on it, and it's
From
just,
Aldi's, the cheap guy.
It's just a bag of wheat that's been puffed. That's the kind of cereal that my parents got me. No sugar on top. So
Poverty sucks.
When we would
we were poor too.
when we would get like honeycomb or like some sort of smacks or whatever. So honeycomb, it's a good. And once again,
Smacks was like a delicacy in
Oh,
the
man.
car. You got Smacks, you made it.
so anyways,
You're right.
honeycomb, that like you said, that grain mixed with honey is what I'm getting because it's delicious.
So, man, that's good. Again, I get kind of that white chocolate and vanilla toffee note again. There's a really like sweet sugary note that kind of reminds me of wedding cake, like the icing on like a vanilla
Yeah.
wedding cake. Again, that barley sugar note. And this is a very, very malty tasting dram. It kind of reminds me of Tomatin and Bruichladdich are two other distilleries and two other scotches I've had that just have this amazing malty taste and nose to it. And this is right up there with them. It's very, very good. Grilled pineapple, like for some reason I don't know.
That's what
grilled.
that's what it is. That's what I would say is fruit, but like a cooked fruit.
And then last but not least, it's like a slight grapiness, which kind of surprised me because there's no sherry involvement whatsoever. But I don't know if it's just like the slightest hint of grape. And I don't even know where that's coming from because it's all bourbon matured.
It's in it. They meant to put it there.
You think so?
Nah, I think it's craftsmanship mixed with a little bit of luck.
That's right. We talked about that before. All right. What do you get on the finish?
The finish. So this was one of the longest ones that. Now, of course, I've only been here for my third review, but the first two had fairly quick finishes, and this one just stays with you. And it's not like you want it to stay with you because it goes. I felt like so fruity, wonderful as I'm drinking it. Just take away the glass, I still have that fruity taste in my mouth, and then it just over a period of, I mean, even 10 minutes even, it changes into more of a cinnamon. I lose that fruit flavor.
It lasts for that long? For
Oh
you?
man, when I was sitting on your couch, yeah, I was literally, I could keep tasting it in my mouth, and that's why I was like, it stayed with me a long time, and I liked it. Sometimes you want it, you want the feeling to end, but for that, I mean, it was good. It was tasty.
Well, I get a medium to long finish. Again, I don't know what the deal is. White chocolate and vanilla toffee, the delicious barley sugar note, and maybe just like a slight bit of nutmeg. So again, kind of those spices that you were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end. All right, the proof in the pudding. Malted Man Cave Mark, what do you got?
Oh man, now I got a lot of heat for my last review.
Hey, yeah, I'm glad you're honest. It's
All right.
whatever you get.
And once again, because I'm more of a novice,
My Padawan.
but yes,
That's aquavite.com. Go check it out.
I liked it. I liked the reference.
Coined him as my Padawan.
Yes, and the previous ones, I didn't have a lot of experience with it, and with this, because it was such a familiar flavor, I liked it a lot better. And it's probably going to change, just like any other palate changes. But for now, I'm going to give this a 93.
Really?
Yeah, 93.
Yeah, that's exactly what I got. 93.
Seriously? Dude.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
93 out of 100, guys. The Balvenie single barrel 15-year-old. Unfortunately, it's going to be hard for you guys to find it. Hopefully, if we complain enough, Balvenie will bring it back. Right now, they replaced it with the Balvenie 15 Sherry Cask, which is actually amazing. I just wish they could keep both of them. And then they also brought in the Balvenie 12-year-old first fill. I can't remember if there's any descriptor to it. And it's really good too. But there's no freaking reason to get rid of this. You can keep this as well, Balvenie. So, like, subscribe, Anything else we want to say about this? We got no jokes tonight. We got no funny
know.
stories about potpourri and grandma's going to the bathroom and me
No.
committing
I could tell
minor misdemeanors.
You want to tell some stories? I'm just kidding. Next time. Tons
Sláinte.
of stories.